Good morning, everybody. Once again, I'm Dr. Rajan Chaturvedi, scientist from Madhya Pradesh Pollution Control Board. Madhya Pradesh Pollution Control Board is a statutory authority under Ministry of Environment, Government of Madhya Pradesh. It is constituted under Central Act. The prime responsibility is to enforce environmental law and ensure their implementation in a better way in Madhya Pradesh state. That is the responsibility of my organization. Today, I'll make my presentation on innovative technique that has been developed by Madhya Pradesh Pollution Control Board in the field of environment, and that has helped in better monitoring of environment, better monitoring of industrial pollution, and this technique can be replicated in other states also by their respective state pollution board or state pollution control committees in their state. And I'm happy to inform that some of the state pollution control board, they have already visited our center. They have already they have come just to discuss how we are functioning, what is the operation, how we are maintaining this system. So some of the states, they have already visited us, and some are discussions are underway with some other state pollution board also. So they are likely to visit us. So this with this information, I'd like to start my presentation. But before I start, I'll just like to give background why what clicked actually, what how the idea clicked for developing this integrated automated pollution surveillance system. So actually, what happens in industry when industries are established, they are given consent, they are given permission subject to certain conditions, including one very important condition, that they are required to abide by environmental norms. They are supposed to comply with emission norms and effluent discharge norms and all that. So emission and emission or discharge or everything, that should be well within limit, well within the prescribed limit. That is an important condition for industries. So they what actually happens once they start, they are required to actually comply with all these conditions, and they are also required to install real-time monitoring systems at their industry end, so we can get data on real-time basis. So suppose they have emission from their industry, so they are required to install continuous emission monitoring system. So we get a stream of data on every minute basis that is required. Likewise, they are required to install IPPTZ camera also, so we get regular stream from them. If they have effluent discharge, so they must install a continuous effluent monitoring system. And that
sorry to interrupt you, sir. Your screen is not moving. So
okay. Sorry. So, these are the conditions. So what actually happens? Some industry, they stick to the norms, but some industry, they deviate from the line actually. So they either they don't install adequate pollution monitoring, pollution control equipment, or they install but they don't operate, or sometimes they operate but they don't maintain. So in such situation, what actually happens? The pollution, I mean the emission or the emission norms, or they are not followed by industries. So pollution, the emission exceeds the prescribed limit. So in that situation, industry, they don't want that data to be sent to the pollution control board for fear of action. So they try to manipulate that data. Actually, they try to tamper that data, and they tamper data and send the tampered data to pollution control. So that data is of no use for us. So, and if we use that data, we don't the decision what we make on that basis, that may be wrong. So this was the challenge, how to check the data, reliability of data, or genuineness of data, monitoring data that is coming from industry, which may be locally or which may be 1,000 kilometers from our center in our state. So that was the big challenge, how to ensure the genuineness of pollution data which is coming from industry. So that was the idea. And then we gave a thought, and we came up with idea, and we developed a monitoring technology, the technique that gives entire solution of this, and we can remotely monitor industries whether instrument is performing in perfect order or not, or data which is coming is untempered and it is virgin, so that we can ensure sitting remotely at our center in Bhopal. So this just our surveillance dashboard. This we have developed in-house. This gives we have not taken any external support, any agency or NIC or that, and we have developed it in-house. And this gives us information about industrial status, and also of instrument pollution control equipment, and also monitoring equipment which are installed at remote end. So we get information, and we take we use this for surveillance purpose of industrial pollution.
Sir, your slides are still not moving. We can see only the opening slide. That's all.
I think
no, it's because he hasn't put it into the slideshow.
It is moving.
No, sir.
In-house and not coming. Screen को हटा. Yeah, this is the integrated environmental surveillance system that we have established at our office. We use this PTZ camera for surveillance of industries. We monitor this ambient air monitoring, emission monitoring, and also effluent. And also we have established a display board at a strategic location in our state for public awareness. We are monitoring these river water quality also on real-time basis. And this we have a remote command and control system to check industry's performance remotely, whether industry is performing rightly or not, if there is any manipulation or doctored data, so that we have facility for this. So this facility is has been developed by our IT section in-house. Also we have this pollution alert system. So whenever there is a accidents of any pollutant parameter, the alerts are sent to the industries and also to the authorities, so that action can be taken on that basis. Grievance system has also been grievance addressal system has also been developed by us, and it is integrated with our environmental surveillance system. So this is just to facilitate the common citizens. This integrated real-time monitoring data transmission system. We monitor emission from industry, effluent industry, and also ambient air quality monitoring system, ambient air quality of industry. And it data on every minute basis, it comes to MPP3 server, and on that basis we take decision. Data is also put on analytical data is also put on our website and also on our app. And what we have done here to get structured data and secured and encrypted data and in a defined format, we are using ISO format. So we ensure that whatever data is coming from industry to our end is secured and is in encrypted form and is in a defined format. This remote validation of instrument data, हाँ, ये बहुत एक important aspect है, और ये टेक्निक है जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर डेवलप किया है इंडस्ट्री के आउटपुट्स वगैरह और उनके जो इमिशन है उनको चेक करने के लिए, डेटा जो हमारे पास आता है उसको हमने चेक करने के लिए. ये इंडस्ट्री का इमिशन आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं, ये यहाँ पर इफ्लुएंट है, यहाँ पर सेंसर्स लगे रहते हैं, यहाँ पे चिमनी में सेंसर्स लगे रहते हैं, यहाँ पे इफ्लुएंट डिस्चार्ज है, यहाँ पे सेंसर्स लगे रहते हैं। सेंसर्स से सैंपल एनालाइजर में जाता है, एनालाइजर एनालाइज करके थ्रू आईटी प्रोटोकॉल हमें डेटा हर मिनट में यहाँ पर भेजते हैं। ये इंडस्ट्री का क्लाउड नेटवर्क है, ये भी सर्वर सिस्टम है, ये भी इंडस्ट्री में ही इस्टेब्लिश रहता है। तो हमें ये देखना रहता है कि जो यहाँ पर इमिशन हो रहा है स्टैक से या जो इफ्लुएंट का डिस्चार्ज है, ये जो डेटा है ये एक्चुअली हमारे पास इसी फॉर्म में आ रहा है कि नहीं, ये बहुत एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। क्योंकि यदि ये डेटा जब एक्सीड होता है तो इंडस्ट्री वो उसको यदि लिमिट से एक्सीड होता है तो इंडस्ट्री नहीं चाहेगी कि वो डेटा हमारे पास आए। दे ट्राई टू मैनिपुलेट डेटा, और फिर जो डॉक्टर डेटा है वो फिर हमारे पास टेम्पर्ड डेटा है वो भेजते हैं, जिससे कि उनके ऊपर कोई एक्शन ना हो। तो ये चीज हमें रिमोटली चेक करना रहता है कि ये सिस्टम पूरा ठीक काम कर रहा है कि नहीं। तो जब हमें चेक करना रहता है तो व्हाट वी डू एक्चुअली, हमारे ऑफिस से, सेंट्रल सर्वर से, यहाँ से हम इसको पूरे सिस्टम को हमारे कंट्रोल में लेते हैं। यहाँ पर जो उनका सेंसर है, यहाँ पे जो उनका एनालाइजर है, यहाँ पे जो इनका डाटा ट्रांसमिशन सिस्टम है, या फिर इंडस्ट्री में एस्टैब्लिश जो सर्वर है, इस वी टेक एवरीथिंग अंडर आवर कंट्रोल व्हेन वी परफॉर्म रिमोट कैलिब्रेशन एनालिसिस और रिमोट चेक एनालिसिस। और हम यहाँ से फिर रिमोट से यहाँ से हम कमांड देते हैं, और वो कमांड प्रॉपरली एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है कि नहीं वहां पर इंडस्ट्री पे वो चेक करते हैं। यदि उसमें कोई डेविएशन है तो हम उसको असेस कर लेते हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं पर उसमें मैनिपुलेशन है या इंस्ट्रूमेंट परफॉर्मेंस।
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Please conclude, sir.
सॉरी। तो ये पूरा चीज सिस्टम हम हमारे यहाँ से रिमोटली पूरा चेक कर सकते हैं। ये बहुत अच्छा एक हम लोगों ने डिवाइस यहाँ पे डेवलप किया है। sometimes what actually happens,
sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. आप 1 मिनट में conclude करें. You have already taken sufficient time.
Okay, sorry for that. Yes, we have also developed this environment ENB alert app. It is available on our website, on this Play Store. This is to support the citizen, to facilitate the citizen. We have given ample information on this. We have also developed interdepartmental approach for pollution control. So all nature of environment related information complaint that can be registered on this. There are a number of complaints which are related with environment, but pollution control board that doesn't come under purview of pollution control board, like vehicle exhaust emission that is taken care by transport department, or garbage pollution or open burning that comes under UADD department, or some other department also. Noise pollution that is taken care by police department. So what we have done, we have developed this platform so a common citizen they can place whatever nature of environment related complaint is there, they place on this, and it is routed from our this app to the concerned department. So we have facilitated this to the citizen. We also conduct this technology awareness program not only for industry but for citizen, also for vendor, for manufacturer also. Because
sir, it is requested you please conclude, sir.
Okay. So CPCB has also acknowledged this technology and pollution control board. So I'd say that this technology which we have developed has helped us in effective monitoring of environment and pollution. And it helps in pollution control, and it also helps in pollution monitoring. And we remotely can check and sitting at our office, we can check whether data which is coming from industry is correct or not, because that is the important, that is the crux, that is the important thing which is supposed to check, which makes everything. I mean, based on that, we take decision, we perform analysis, we do whatever our analysis based, that is based on data what we receive. So quality of data is very important, and we take care, we ensure that whatever data is coming, that is in proper form or not. So this is the technology that we have developed and acknowledged by CPCB, and other state boards are also following it. Thank you for that.
That's a very presentation. आपका जो ब्लॉक डायग्राम था जिसमें आपने इंटरलिंकेज दिखाया है, वो स्लाइड ही अपने आप में काफी सभी कुछ एक्सप्लेन कर देती है। तो ये बताइए कि जो इंडस्ट्री में सेंसर्स लगे हुए हैं वो किसके कंट्रोल में है?
सेंसर्स जो लगाए हैं वो इंडस्ट्रीज ने लगाए हैं। ये मिनिस्ट्री गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का एक स्कीम है, सेल्फ मॉनिटरिंग ऑफ कंप्लायंस, उसमें उनको लगाना है एंड दे आर रिक्वायर्ड टू प्रोवाइड कनेक्टिविटी ऑफ दोज इंस्ट्रूमेंट विद आवर सर्वर। और वो
अगर कोई मान लिया उस सेंसर को ही टेम्पर कर दे तो फिर तो सारी चेन है वही गड़बड़ हो जाएगी। उसका क्या प्रोविजन है कि उसको कोई टेम्पर कर दे?
यस, मैं उसको आपको बहुत क्लियर करता हूं। जब हम रिमोटली उसको कैलिब्रेट करते हैं हमारे यहाँ से, हमारे सेंट्रल हमारे सेंट्रल सर्वेलेंस सेंटर से, उस समय हम उनका सिस्टम पूरा हमारे कंट्रोल में रहते हैं। हम कमांड हमारे यहाँ से देते हैं और वो कमांड इन सेम उसमें स्पिरिट में वहां पर एग्जीक्यूट होना चाहिए। यदि वो नहीं हो रहा है तो हम समझ जाते हैं कि उसके सेंसर में या फिर उसके एनालाइजर में या ट्रांसमिशन सिस्टम में गड़बड़ी। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल छोटा सा दे देता हूँ।
नहीं डॉक्टर साहब मैं समझ गया।
हाँ,
यदि
हम सेंसर
आपकी बात में समझ गया। अब ये बताइए कि पब्लिक से 272 कंप्लेंट आई है आपके पास में, आपके उसमें है, तो फिर वो किस लिए, अगर सब कुछ ठीक ठाक चल रहा है तो?
कंप्लेंट्स जो हमारे पास हैं 272 कंप्लेंट पूरा ये इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आई है जो कि अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स की हैं। जैसे उसमें हो सकता है अर्बन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिपार्टमेंट है, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट है, DIHS है, माइनिंग डिपार्टमेंट है, फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट है, नेशनल हाईवे अथॉरिटी है। ये हमारी इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर आई है, यहाँ से रीडायरेक्ट अपने आप हो जाती है वो उन कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट को। ये हम लोगों ने पब्लिक को फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए एक इंटर डिपार्टमेंटल हमने बनाया। पहले हमारे यहाँ सभी कंप्लेंट्स आती थी इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेटेड, लेकिन ये पूरी कंप्लेंट हम नहीं देखते। गार्बेज बर्निंग हम नहीं देखते, या फिर ओपन बर्निंग, या फिर कहीं पर फॉरेस्ट कटिंग हो रहा है, या फिर फॉरेस्ट फायर हो रहा है, या नॉइस पॉल्यूशन। तो हम लोगों ने डेवलप किया है फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए पब्लिक को कि वो इस पर करें, और ये ऑटोमेटेड यहां से रीडायरेक्ट हो जाती है कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट को, और वो इसको एड्रेस करते हैं। और ये पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन हर क्या क्या स्टेज पर है, ये पूरा उनको जो कंप्लेनेंट है उसको वहां पे ऐप पे मालूम पड़ती रहती है।
डॉक्टर साहब एक लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि जैसे मान लिया किसी ने कंप्लेंट की, फॉर एग्जांपल गार्बेज की उसने बर्न कर दिया है ना, और या किसी ने कंप्लेंट किया कि भाई मेरे एरिया में XYZ इंडस्ट्री है और उसकी जो गैसियस का जो डिस्चार्ज है वो लोगों का उसका वैसा रहना मुश्किल है, आपने ठीक है उसको डायरेक्ट कर दिया, लेकिन जब तक जो कंप्लेनेंट है उसकी फीडबैक ना आए तब तक उसको क्लोज नहीं करना चाहिए। अदरवाइज तो सिंपली कीजिए मैंने तो उसको मार्क कर दिया, मेरे सिस्टम से तो चली गई, अब वो जाने उसका काम जाने। नहीं, जब तक उसकी फीडबैक ना आए कंप्लेनेंट की तब तक वो क्लोज नहीं होनी चाहिए। दैट इज द रियल स्पिरिट ऑफ टेकिंग द एक्शन ऑन द कंप्लेनेंट।
बिल्कुल आप जो कह रहे हैं यही चीज इसमें एड्रेस होती है। कंप्लेंट जब तक क्लोज नहीं होती है, जब तक उससे पूरा एक्शन नहीं होता है, और जो कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट को जब ये रीडायरेक्ट होती है तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं,
एक्शन से जो कंप्लेनेंट है वो संतुष्ट होना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल ठीक है आपका कहना। यदि ये नहीं होते तो कंप्लेनेंट उसी को फिर से, उसमें प्रोविजन है कि उसको फिर से मार्क कर सकता है कि इसमें ये चीज एड्रेस नहीं हुई है। और कंप्लेंट जब तक क्लोज नहीं होती है, जब तक वह सेटिस्फाई नहीं होता, ये प्रोविजन उसमें है, और ये ऐप उसके ऊपर अवेलेबल है, आप भी इसको देख सकते हैं काफी। और इन हाउस हम लोगों ने डेवलप किया है, जितनी चीजें हैं ये पूरी हमने टेक्नोलॉजी इन हाउस डेवलप करा है।
ठीक है, अब कौन से स्टेट ने आपसे कांटेक्ट किया है कि जहां पे आप इसको रिप्लिकेट कराना चाहें? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है।
यस, हमारे यहाँ पर महाराष्ट्र पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, उनके चेयरमैन भी विजिट किए हैं। अभी तेलंगाना पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड से उनके चीफ इंजीनियर और उनके जो कंसल्टेंट हैं वो लोग आए हैं। और
व्हाट अबाउट यूपी?
उत्तर प्रदेश ने हमसे कांटेक्ट नहीं किया अभी रिसेंटली।
आप उनसे कांटेक्ट करिए, कोई बात नहीं, बिग स्टेट है ना, लेकिन वो बड़े स्टेट है। एनवायरनमेंट एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो कॉमन रिसोर्स है, पूरी कंट्री का है।
आपका एडवाइस
आप ठीक कर ले उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, जब तक पूरा कंट्री ना ठीक करे तब तक उसका रियल इम्पैक्ट नहीं आता। तो इट इज अ कॉमन रिसोर्स।
अभी नेशनल एक मीटिंग हुआ था, उसमें सेंट्रल पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड ने सभी स्टेट बोर्ड से भी कहा है, नेशनल मीटिंग में कहा है कि इस चीज को फॉलो करने के लिए, तो उस बेसिस पर ही दूसरे लोग हमारे पास आ रहे हैं। और निश्चित आपका जो एडवाइस है मैं बिल्कुल उसको लेता हूं, और मैं दूसरे स्टेट बोर्ड से भी जो सभी लोग परिचित हैं अलग अलग जगह पे, उन लोगों से कॉन्टेक्ट करूंगा कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी यदि वो अडॉप्ट करेंगे तो एनवायरमेंट के लिए और सिटीजन के लिए अच्छा रहेगा। निश्चित रूप से
water supply and sewage projects of Madhya Pradesh and the urban local bodies. I'm just moving to the presentation right away. So Nirmal Narmada, the way we call it, it's an initiative of the MPUDC. I'll use the acronym. It's the Madhya Pradesh Urban Development Company Limited. And it's a sewerage project. It's a one of its kind project which has been taken up in the size of a town which is as small as that of Dharampuri. And why we picked up this city and how it came along is what I will be covering in today's presentation. Taking you through the urban profile of Madhya Pradesh, it's a very fastly urbanizing state. Our rate of urbanization is higher than that of the national average. And if you look at the census of 2011, already about 28% of our population is in the urban areas, which is due to the growing aspirations. The people are moving to urban areas at a very, very large rate. Of this urban population, almost 44% is concentrated in our 16 municipal corporations, and likewise in the municipal councils and Nagar Parishads. What brings us to this presentation is that the coverage of sewer networks in Madhya Pradesh is only 15%. And if it won't be much to tell you that it's only limited to our million-plus cities and municipal corporations alone. Why Nirmal Narmada? River Narmada is also known as the lifeline of Madhya Pradesh. It caters to, while I speak only of town, it caters to more than 60 towns for their drinking water requirements. It's the main source of irrigation, drinking water, electricity supply to Madhya Pradesh. And I'm only speaking about towns. When we cover the rural area also, the stress and the stretch of this river and its contribution as a lifeline to the state is paramount. Now, why Dharampuri? Like we can see in the map of Madhya Pradesh, it's Nagar Parishad. It is located in the district of Dhar. It is on the banks of river Narmada, and it has a mythological linkage with Dharmaraj Yudhishthir, and so the name Dharampuri. It is situated on the banks, like I covered, and this is our first ever initiative to cover each and every household of a town of this size to make it sewerage free. Now we come to the aspect that why was this project actually needed? Like I covered in my first slide, if we look at the status of sewage connections, we did a house-to-house survey. We did a baseline survey, and we found out that about 28% of households had no sewerage facility whatsoever, and households with septic tanks was as high as 72%. While we look at the drains, the status of drainage was even worse. We had open drains which are not covered at the top, which are about 58%. 9% of the houses had no drains whatsoever, and 33% of the drains only were covered. The outcomes or outfalls of untreated sewerage, like we all know, are very, very serious. And it is something that the public at large cannot really see at the moment, but its outcomes and its consequences are grievous. They are grave. First and foremost, it causes utter serious groundwater contamination, very high amount of public health problems. We took up data from Dharampuri that the cases of fever, malaria, dysentery, and acute diarrhea, which were reported in the year 2020, were more than 19,000 only in the case of fever of unknown origin. Waterborne diseases were also to the tune of good 5,000 plus. The load that all the sewerage was putting on the river Narmada in the form of BOD and COD, that is the biological oxygen demand, and the chemical oxygen demand was also extremely high. Worse than that, all towns downstream of Dharampuri and Narmada, 60 plus towns, were getting affected by having this sewage being fed into the river. Now, however nice it may sound that we should have an ideal project, etc., there are a lot of constraints which our urban local bodies in a developing and aspiring state like Madhya Pradesh face. First and foremost being weak finances of the urban local body. This is a problem which is widespread across the country, more so in developing states like Madhya Pradesh. They don't have much resources to start or take up any big projects, and they have to prioritize, and hence the development per year is very, very limited. Once we conceptualize the project, there is a lot of intercoordination which is required in case of land availability, permissions, etc. with other departments involved. Households in all these areas restrict to sewerage connections. We observed there was an utter lack of knowledge or acceptability in the people's mind. They were very satisfied by having septic tanks, not understanding the repercussions of it. So it was difficult to actually bring them to the demand of asking for a sewerage connection. Another problem in urban areas is that the streets are very, very narrow, and deep excavation is a challenge in itself. Moving machineries to such areas and excavating and filling it up in a fixed period of time, which includes markets, streets, houses, schools. It's a difficult task altogether. The solution, it's very, very simple. If you speak of it in a theoretical way, it was the only way out is that we had to connect 100% of our households with the network. Not just connecting, but we had to focus on wastewater recycling and reuse. We had to develop a system where we could monitor the effluents as per the CPCB norms. And ideally speaking, we should have had a GIS mapping of the entire infrastructure. The methodology adopted by the MP Urban Development Company was very, very straightforward and to the point, and extensive door-to-door and community consultation lied at the heart of this entire process. And we spent an innumerable amount of days, hours, speaking to all the women, the children there, everybody who was part of all the stakeholders. We involved school students. We took them to exposure visits to make them understand that what is this company actually doing and how and why this is important. We had an extensive media campaign, like you can see here, and we used it extensively to the benefit of the project. Now, we use this method of single bore sewerage, solid-free sewage system, which is a network design which avoids deep excavation, which was a must. And it's a novel technology that we used here. It avoids deep excavations. Hence, the people's acceptability to this project increases. We also tried to minimize the disturbance to the street vendors by making the layout such that it does not affect their daily business.
Ma'am, please conclude, ma'am.
Sure. I have my timer on. I think around 7 minutes right now. Yeah, that's 7 minutes. This is the outcome. 100% of the town has been covered. There is an online real-time monitoring effluent system for the pollutants. The entire GIS, entire sewer network is available on a GIS-based map. And the citizen support in the end came to the tune that people volunteered to donate land for the pumping station. This is a view of our sewer network map. The entire town of Dharampuri has been covered on it, and it can help us actually visualize the whole thing in coming next. Yeah, so that's about it. That's about our project, and we had a great time executing it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time.
Ma'am, in fact, it is very good to note that a town which was having almost all over the a network of septic tanks, now you have fully 100% covered it with the sewer lines. It is not an easy job. By the way, how did you overcome the community perceptions? Because sometimes in narrow streets, it is very difficult to take them on board.
So like you very rightly said, and I tried to cover in my presentation, that at the heart of this entire project was a very strong IEC and consultation with families. We focused more on the women because they are the ones who face a problem when their child is ill. They face a problem when people are sick in the family. So they were very, very active in supporting us. At the same time, the role of public representatives was very, very, very positive. The parshads, like we call them, the councillors, they helped us a lot. And only expectation from us was that we do our work in time. We fill up the whatever we have dug up in time. So there was support, and not to say that it was not difficult. It was difficult in some stretches, but our team could finally execute it well. Also, sir, since we are did this for a town of this side, we had applied for Water Plus status in Swachh Bharat Mission, and I am very happy that we faltered on only 1 or 2 parameters, which makes our case very, very strong for next year's Water Plus. It will be first of its kind for a city of that small size, because it's generally imaginable for Indore. Indore is number 1 in Swachh Bharat, etc. But for a town of this size, it will be one of its kind in the country, sir.
Very good. Excellent work, ma'am. Excellent. Outstanding and brilliant job.
Thank you, sir.
It is the responsibility of government to provide everything in time to citizens. What I feel is that your state is running far behind than most of the states in our country to provide this type of activities to the citizens. Maybe I'm not sure why you have applied for this SKOCH award. What exactly you want to convey is not clear to me.
Okay.
What activity is the key activity which other states are not doing it and you have done it? Please elaborate on that.
Sir, I think the system and the technology that we used for this project, which ensured that it was able to be achieved and completed in time, was the solid freeze shallow bore technique. Now, this requires excavation only up to a depth of 2.5 meters, which is as against almost 5 to 6 meters in another traditional sewerage systems. So this saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of effort, and it saves a lot of inconvenience to the people. This is a solid free material, sir. There is only deep excavation near the main pumping stations. So this is how it works for smaller towns, sir. It's difficult to actually motivate people to come up for a thing like this. And I would like to disagree, sir. Madhya Pradesh is not lagging in this field. MPUDC alone is working on 178 such projects in all the ULBs. And this is just MPUDC. The urban local bodies are doing their own share of it. A lot of it is covered under Amrut. So we are now moving towards saturation. But sir, always we felt that because families move to these urban areas, there were always gaps. This is the first time that we have tried to cover up to the last house. There was always some gap which would be left behind. Through this company, we are working through the World Bank funding, sir. So they have also very strong verification methods, and there are independent verifiers who go and see what we have actually worked like. So that is why we applied, sir.
Okay, all the best to you. That makes sense.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Industrial promotion of industries department. So since due to short of time, and directly sir going to the slide.
Sir, you have got 22 slides. Please use only 10 minutes to present yourself.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I'll just minimize that one. Okay, sir. So hope my slide is visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So these are some of the agenda items. Actually, GoSwift actually is in a nutshell. I'm saying that it is a government of Odisha single window investor facilitation and tracking software. And you can say it is a single window portal from where all the investments which come to landed to the state of Odisha has been routed with all the pre and post clearances, and as well as the aftercare facility which has been provided by the IPCOL, Industrial Promotion Wing of Odisha, and it is the umbrella of it is one branch of, you can say, of Industries Department of Odisha. So this is the nutshell of this GoSwift. And in the GoSwift version 2.0, we are actually have enhanced some of the new features and modules of the GoSwift, which I will be explaining in the later part. In the GoSwift, sir, these are the portals which have been already integrated and has been facilitated by our department. So the first one is the GoSwift. It is the main portal from where all the other portals have been integrated. One is the info wizard. In the info wizard, sir, you could able to know the information of what are the incentives, what are the policies, and what are the facilities, what are the clearance you need when you are going to establish a business of a particular sector. Similarly, there is a called GIS system, that is Go iPass, through which we could Go Plus, from which you could able to know the land, what are the land parcels available, and what are the industrial lands, its rest, its cost, and what are the nearby facilities such as water, power, and other facilities which needed to be established during the pre-establishment. Single window clearance is the portal, so it is the gossip from where all the clearance has been routed, and it has been done by the Honorable CM and Honorable Chief Secretary as per the investment amount. Similarly, there is an approval and clearance through which we used to track what are the clearance have been pending with all the departments. And now we have actually onboarded 18 departments with 54 services. Similarly, after once the industry is able to establish setup in Odisha, they also need some handholding support from the basically for incentives through which we used to monitor in the same portal, that is for incentive administration. And apart from this, the major two systems which we have been integrated, that is GoSmile, through which all the synchronized inspections have been done, and similarly GoCare, all the CSR activities have been monitored through all the industries. So the features, the new features which have been included in the GoSip version 2.0 is that we have been we are Odisha is the first state among the first state which has been rolled out with the national single window system that has been integrated, and now all the central government clearance has been onboarded through GoSip. So earlier what happened, each industry has to go particular like for environmental clearance or to get a central CGWS central groundwater clearance approval, they have to visit the particular website, and we are not able to track what is their status on that website. But now all that has been integrated through a national single window system and through GoSip. So the proposed solution which we have implemented in this GoSip version 2 is the single common application form. Earlier what happened, for 18 departments we have 18 forms, but what we did, we made a collaboration and we did taking all the department consents that a common common form should be there, so that the common things should get populated instead of taking redundant information filling up once again for all particular common applications. Similarly, in the future, we have also through the business reform action plan of this year 2022, we are trying to integrate 100 services of all the major concerned departments. And earlier what happened, like for any approval, there are some payment fees have been applicable for some of the departments, for which industry has to pay fees for various departments on different gateways. But we had made a unified payment gateway through our government of treasury, so that once the applicant fill up the form, then he could able to fill all the applications at one go, and he will pay a lump sum amount of fees instead of paying a fee for a particular application. Similarly, what we have also implemented in this GoSip version 2.0 is the document archive facility, through which like I had got an approval from the central government water clearance. So instead of going to their site and downloading all those, retrieving those documents, what I will do is that I have made the archive facility like a DigiLocker, which has been already integrated, through which we could pull out those documents, basic primary documents which he has uploaded, and we will be uploading in the same portal with the other services instead of going for downloading. Similarly, the most important feature of the GoSip which has been there is the online grievance redressal mechanism, through which we are doing the aftercare facility to both industry and non-industry users. And there is also a dashboard redesign as per the business ease of doing business and business reform plan to track all the applications pending dependency. So these are the basically common features how we have how the routed your application through single window. So in a high level clearance is taken by the Honorable CM. Single window state level which is above 50 crores and below 1,000 crores, that is taken by our Honorable Chief Secretary, sir, and similarly DLC is taken by the district collectors. So for single common application, we have used some methodology in the backend, through which all the pre-establishment approvals will be featured at one application, so that instead of filling a lot of forms, he will be filling a single common application form. And similarly, we have used for the payment through cyber treasury, we use a mechanism called trickle feed, through which all the application fees have been clubbed together at one go. And once the amount is realized from the bank, then through cyber treasury that will be credited to different head of the accounts. Similarly, already I have explained the DigiLocker. Also, now we have also integrated 18 departments, 54 services. So already I have also explained how the integration of national single window system has been done. And we have also used the concept of single sign-on, but in the earlier single sign-on, there was a framework, but now we are using a secure access authentication markup language. So through which both way the total can be moved. So even national single window could able to fetch some of the data which have been routed from their end. Similarly, we could able to fetch the data which are routed from the national single window. Similarly, for other department portals integration. So these are the earlier some of the scope of the project which we are thinking to do. Like we are going to integrate with API set2 to render more and more services, which has been done by the my team. And similarly, we are also trying to upgrade more in WhatsApp and other platforms, social media platforms, so that people are able to.
Sir, please conclude, sir.
Yeah. So these are the features of what, and these are the technical things. I'm just not going through it deep. So the architecture layer. So these are the softwares which recently are going on. So these have been already also implemented by our other new branch called Ethical Agriculture Promotion Investment Corporation. Similar features single window they have also implemented, taking our concept. And also DPIT which has created the national single window. They have also taken the Odisha as the best practice to be replicated for their features.
Very good effort, sir. I appreciate your approval is granted in a single certificate. That is very important.
Yes, sir.
I think this will accelerate the investment in your state industrial investment. Definitely. What has been your ease of doing business ranking in past and how it stands now?
Sir, earlier last year we had a ranking of around 24th or 26th, but this time we have in the achiever. So we have got 13th rank, 11th rank.
Okay, good.
Sir.
Definitely with this, investors will have more confidence in your approval system. Excellent work. Thank you,
Sir,
please.
yeah, thank you, sir. So no other further questions, sir?
Excellent work you have undertaken. No specific question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request
Mr. Jagtap, who is the Deputy CEO here, and Mr. D.R. Patil, who is the Director of the Honey Directorate at Mahabaleshwar. Shall I start with my presentation?
yes, ma'am.
So this is regarding this concept is of Madhache Gaon. We call it Madhache Gaon in Marathi, and it means village of honey. So the background of this concept is that we all know that bees play a very important role in nature. They not only provide the useful honey and other byproducts, they also maintain the Earth's ecosystems. But with the growing industrialization and the use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, the number of bees is going down in the environment. And we all know that in the rural areas, people are mostly dependent on agriculture, and also the crop production is decreasing because the number of the bees is decreasing in the environment. So the fact is also that the rural people in the villages, they have very less alternative means of employment apart from the farming. And the biodiversity in the hilly and the forest areas is also getting affected, and the climate change is also resulting. So in this background, the Maharashtra State Khadi and Village Industries Board has come up with this unique concept of Madhache Gaon. Next slide, please.
So this is first of its kind in the country. This is the first honey village in India. So MSKVIB, I'm calling the short form of the Maharashtra State Khadi and Village Industries Board. It promotes beekeeping through its honey directorate at Mahabaleshwar. We have been implementing the schemes for bee farming, and there was one scheme called the Western Ghat scheme of the Government of India to promote the backward region of the Western Ghat in Maharashtra. That scheme got closed, and still we have a directorate. We are implementing the scheme of honey farming, but it was not working because the number of honeybees, the number of bee colonies in the state of Maharashtra was going down. So we conceptualized this to promote beekeeping as well as promote the ecosystem balance in a focused way. So we selected a village, and the first village is in Manghar. It is in the Taluka Mahabaleshwar of the Satara district of Maharashtra. And we implemented end-to-end solutions there, right from promoting bee farming, collection of the product, that is main product is honey, and also the other byproducts, which are propolis, royal jelly, bee venom, beeswax, and processing all these things there itself and their sale from the village itself. So this involved special efforts to increase the number of honeybees, and as also promote the awareness in that region about the significant role played by the honeybees. So the first Madhache Gaon, because we'll be taking it further also, the first Madhache Gaon has been declared in the Manghar village of the Mahabaleshwar Taluka. And the declaration is in the form of inauguration of the honey village, which has resulted into the number of bee farmers which were there in the village to 70% from almost 100%. So now we are also working with this concept in the other villages of Maharashtra. The problems which were faced earlier, apart from the decreasing number of the bees, was that the villagers were using unscientific method of honey collection or the bee farming. So what was happening was, due to this unscientific method, the bee colonies were getting lost, they were getting destroyed, and also the honey collection was lower than the expected amount. Then the honeybees are the major crop pollinators. We know that they are very instrumental in doing the pollination of the crops, agricultural crops, and the other horticultural crops also. So decreasing number of bees meant that the crop production will also come down. And in many parts of Maharashtra, we heard about this suicide by the farmers due to the loss of crops, because it is mostly dependent on the monsoon also, and irrigation facilities are in lesser places. So that is also a reason why we promoted this beekeeping as means of livelihood, as well as it has many impacts on the other areas also. So the processing of the honey and the other byproducts in the same village led to the increased income, because we are proposing, and we are in the Manghar village, we are selling this honey prepared by the villagers from that village itself. And we have also made some online arrangement of selling this honey. And also the people were also migrating from the rural areas to the urban areas to get better income opportunities. So we wanted to establish beekeeping as a meaningful employment as well, with increased income to the villagers. So now this honey village has impacted that they have been trained in the scientific method of beekeeping and collection of the honey and also the other byproducts which have the very useful use in the medicinal industry, in the cosmetic and beauty industry also. The crop production will also increase because of the increased pollination by the increased number of the bees in the region. The byproducts and the honey is being processed and sold from the village itself, and which is fetching better income for the villagers there. And we are also seeking diversification of the honey products, like honey into other honey products, like honey cubes in place of the sugar cube is going to be a very useful alternative. Honey candies, honey chocolates, beeswax is being turned into the other kinds of products or handicraft products, like we are giving training for making the candles, the ornamental candles in that region itself. And people have understood that this is going to be a very useful way of raising their incomes. And in that region, the people, because Mahabaleshwar is a place where a lot of tourists visit, and it's very close to this Manghar village is very close to Mahabaleshwar, and the tourists are coming to visit this honey village and seeing that honey being collected by the villagers themselves, and it is getting processed. And we have also set up a lab there. The visitors can check their honey which they are going to buy for the purity, and they can buy after confirming that it is a pure and standard type of honey. So that is it. Besides getting an idea of how the honeybees are important in nature, how the honey is collected, how the honey is processed, how the other byproducts of honey are getting processed and collected from there, and what are the other uses of the honey and their byproducts. So the other advantages we have, what we went step by step there. First, we went and had a meeting with the villagers. They explained the concept of this Madhache Gaon. The villagers also agreed. And because it has to be for the sustainability of this concept, the villagers should own this idea. They should own this concept. So we ask them whether they can pass a resolution to this effect in their Gram Sabha. So they passed a resolution of having it as a Madhache Gaon. So the resolution was passed. A representative committee of the villagers was also formed to have continuous dialogue with the directorate which is there in the Mahabaleshwar, and with others also, the other officials in the board. And we have formed a small WhatsApp group in which the people of Manghar, the representative committee, and our team members, we are in touch on a continuous basis. Now the impact is that now almost 100% of the people of that village are involved in beekeeping activities. They are also given training in the bee breeding and the other ancillary activities. And since we are also, as a board, we are also implementing these schemes like Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. And on the same lines, we have a scheme of Chief Minister Employment Generation Program, which we are implementing in the rural areas. So the villagers have come up with these small projects under these schemes to develop all the ancillary projects, ancillary activities to beekeeping in the village itself. So that is the useful result of this concept being implemented. And they are also keen to—
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Please conclude.
Sorry, they're also keen to implement develop the other activities, like, because the tourists are visiting that area, the tourism is getting promoted in that area. So they have come up with the idea of getting the training of the tour guides. So we have arranged the training of tour guides also, and the result we can see in the last slide, that number of tourist visitors which has visited that village. A lot of students have visited, a lot of tourists have visited, a lot of organizations, they had visited the village. Then the collection of honey and the sale of honey has gone very up. Then they have registered their own brand by the name Madhache Gaon Manghar, and they have developed a farmer producer company also. The honey production has increased. They have got a few awards also, and the organic honey certification is also going on, and the other trainings are also going on. So this is the result, and we are taking this project, this concept to the other villages of Maharashtra, and we are working on this. Especially all the regions, all the divisions of Maharashtra, we are working on 6-7 other Madhache Gaon in the state. So that is the concept. I hope it is well taken by the jury members and the organizers. Thank you.
Ma'am, excellent idea, rather very robust idea of replicating in this model in other villages. Now this Madhache Gaon experiment is fully established, well established. It has created its own brand, and now its visibility is very much there. I think you would now target to create at least 4 or 5 more villages per year, so that farmers' distress in your region, which is very unfortunate, can be tackled. Excellent
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir. As I told already, because we are already working with the other parts of Maharashtra, we will be coming up with 5-6 more
Sure.
Madhache Gaon in the area, and we are spreading it to other villages of Maharashtra as well.
Definitely. It is linked to with the Ayurvedic treatment also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In fact, this lot of NGOs and other organizations have come up to support this initiative.
Definitely.
They said we will be sponsoring these few villages.
Commendable job, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, very good work you have undertaken, and I don't know whether you have trying to focus on value adding to the honey and then selling outside the state and maybe exporting it, so that we create a sort of volume, and then economics of scale will also start playing the role.
Yes, sir, we do have plans to add value to the honey, because we'll be diversifying it into other products also, and to increase the collection of honey, because we as a board, we have the scheme of giving guarantee price to the honey farmers also. So we are giving perhaps the highest price to the honey. It is 400. Now we have increased it to 500 rupees per kg. So that is the idea, to increase the production also. And for the diversification of the honey and its other byproducts, we are giving training to people, and we are supporting the products also under various schemes, and we'll be providing a platform firstly in the state, then in the country, and also we have plans to promote the export of these items.
Yeah, it's very important, because the moment we talk about honey, then Dabur honey comes to our mind, because we have seen that thing growing over a period of time. And since your system has to compete with existing players, so I think you need to add some more focus on how to optimize your resources and how to compete with the real world.
We already have our brand, that is under the name Madhuban. It is available on Amazon now. So that brand is already there, and it is in fact it is in very much demand, and we are not able to cope up with that demand. And with this kind of initiative, we'll be increasing our supply also.
Is it Madhuban?
Yes,
Ma'am.
Madhuban. Yes.
Madhuban.
Yes. We have various kinds of honey: Madhuban organic honey, Madhuban Western Ghat honey, sunflower honey, and so on.
Thank you, please. Thank you, please.
Thank you. All the best.
Managing Director Deepak Dalal sir, I'm very thankful to you for giving me this opportunity to present here. Honorable juries Sharma sir and Surinder Sur sir, Mr. Deepak Dalal, I am very thankful to you for giving me this opportunity to present my case. We are dealing here with PM Kusum scheme component B implementation. I am sharing my screen. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Is it visible?
Sir, this is the scheme, PM Kusum scheme from central government, and Maharashtra state MEDA is implementing this scheme as a state nodal agency. Sir, in Kusum component B, MNRE government of India announced this scheme in 2019 with 1 lakh standalone solar pumps, and the farmers are installing standalone solar agriculture pumps with off-grid solar equipments. 3 HP, 5 HP and 7.5 HP pumps are allotted in this scheme. MNRE subsidy is up to 30%, and rest 60 to 65% subsidy is given by the state government. Farmer share is only 10% or 5% depending on the SC/ST or open category. Sir, earlier we have installed pumps, solar pumps in the state. We face so many challenges for filing and submitting the application. After approval of the pump, farmer need to visit the office and bank to deposit the beneficiary share. The farmer had to choose the selection. Previously, there was no choice for farmer to select a vendor. So he has to install the pump, whichever is allotted by the government. But now we have changed it, and farmer is having a choice of selection of the vendor. If any problem occurred in the solar pump, then farmer need to visit the office physically and to raise a complaint. Reaching to beneficiary was a challenge in the remote area, and time was wasted in physical survey, joint inspection reports to reach the headquarters, which delayed the vendor payments. Previously, land record details were also verified manually. The solution made during this implementation was a online portal, and totally online. Farmer can fill and submit the online application, and details of the survey number are the Government of Maharashtra Bhumi Abhilekh land record portal. So these two synchronize. As per the land area, online 7 extract capacity automatically selected. For example, 2.55 hectares, 5 HP pump is allowed. For less than 2.5 acres, 3 HP pump is, and for more than 5 acres, 7.5 HP pump is automatically selected by the farmer. Deposits the share online through portal. All vendors are visible for selection as per the farmer choice for installation of the pump. Then farmer selects the vendor, and automatically SMS is sent by system to vendor, officers and farmer. The farmer mobile is shared with survey is fixed, and the survey is conducted by MEDA officer, vendor in the presence of farmer or beneficiary physically. Then they upload this photograph with lat long on the site. Then the site report is verified by the district officers, DGM, and approved for installation of pump. Accordingly, the pump is installed by the vendor. Then again, joint inspection is done by the vendor, MEDA and the farmer. And the photographs are uploaded with the latitude, longitude details on the website, which is verified by the head office, and the payment is done speedily. So also in this system, the remote monitoring system, RMS system is developed, which is synchronized with the RMS portal of MNRE, which SIM card insert into the controller of the pump to regularly monitor the working of the pump system. So this is the beneficiary portal for filling online application, making online payment. Before application to track the application of the beneficiary. This is the payment option given to the farmer. So when he can apply online with all his bank details, Aadhaar card, 7-tel extract, which is synchronized with the Bhumi Abhilekh portal. Then the allotted capacity 3 HP, 5 HP, 7.5 HP is allotted as SC/ST category or open category. Then the applicable pump is allotted and calculated beneficiary share is informed to the beneficiary, and the farmer pays the payment gateway. All vendors are visible to farmer, and vendor selection is done by the farmer as per his choice, as per his intelligence in the market and the past experience. Beneficiary account details are taken online, and the portal can be used using application on smartphone also. After these 7 stages, the application is vendor selection option given to the farmer. And checking of status of progress of the solar pump. Also, for inspecting the system online, the portal is used. Reports are submitted through portal with geotagging. So on digital application, after verification of documents, it is received by the DGM portal, then forwarded to respective DGM for scrutiny and verification. Then he will verify the application and send SMS to the beneficiary to deposit the beneficiary share. Then the beneficiary share is deposited with the mode of payment given on the portal. So you can pay by UPI, NEFT or RTGS, and after successful payment, vendor selection option is given to the beneficiary. So on vendor portal, vendor gets and project officer with respect to MEDA division. The survey is done with the site photograph, which includes lat long online. This is done prior to the installation of the solar pump. So we can verify the source, whether electric connection or which is site, and the installation site and this survey site can be re-verified if there is some malpractice. Pump is installed and inspection coordinated online. Again, inspection report is also submitted by vendor online with the photograph of the beneficiary, MEDA officer and the vendor representative. The inspection report with the photograph of installed solar pump is accompanied by the insurance copy of the pump and the invoice generated by the company. Then there is a RMS portal newly developed. This portal provides the details of the pump as follows. Each 5 minutes, it is taking the data from the pump with the help of SIM card installed in the controller of the pump. The pump, whether the pump is on or off, we can check it. Pump working and faulty condition we can verify. Latitude, longitude of the installed pump can be verified. At each moment, at any point of time, if the pump is displaced from the well, it can be verified from this RMS portal also. Total discharge output of the pump per day, liters per day, or overall discharge given by the pump after installation also can be verified. Total daily energy generated in kilowatt hour in the system is also calculated. This can be used for various research by MNRE and also by the state nodal agencies. So this is a screenshot of RMS data. We get lot of parameters here: motor current, voltage, then flow speed, total generated energy, total water discharge for a particular day. We can verify. So solution implemented for better service provision of for beneficiary. On beneficiary portal, provision is given to beneficiary to report any grievances, and manual is in the local language also provided. Information display board is also pasted near the solar pump. District-wise contact information of MEDA officers is also provided. Even he can call on a MEDA telephone number. Future expansion plans and budget for expansion. Previously, 50,000 number of solar pumps were distributed to Maharashtra, out of which 40,000 pumps are installed in the last 6 months. Plans and targets are set up to achieve 1 lakh pumps per year by MNRE. And 2,247 crores per year grant is available. Financial budget is sanctioned by MNRE. Reason for implementation: farmers don't have any source of power for irrigating their farms. Due to active load shedding in Maharashtra, AG pumps are powered in the night only. This causes very harsh conditions for farmers to irrigate their farms in the night times. So farmers need energy in the daytime, and also using diesel pumps for irrigating the farms, which leads to carbon emission. We are giving it on the 90 to 95% subsidy. MSDCL has a huge paid pending list of the farmers for electric connections. These farmers are recommended and accommodated in the PM Kusum scheme. Details of coverage of targeted farmers. The farmers who don't have AG connection, farmers using diesel pumps, and farmers who are under paid pending list are covered under this scheme. Complete online. What are the outcomes? The complete online solution is provided for the farmers in the Maharashtra. A physical movements are converted into online system, resulting in huge time saving, just like joint survey reports and photographs. As a result, 40,000 pumps are installed in 8 months. Out of these 8 months, 2 months were wasted by the rainy season. So in only 180 days, we could install 40,000 pumps. At an average of 220 pumps were daily installed in Maharashtra. Vendor allocation is kept very flexible, so we can change district-wise vendor allocation, or beneficiary-wise change can be possible if the beneficiary requests like that. Choice of vendor selection was never provided to the beneficiaries, which is provided by this system. A unique ID is generated in the beneficiary portal, on which beneficiary can track his own application and progress of his installation. The MNRE can monitor the progress of the scheme remotely with the help of RMS portal. Vendor payments are done speedily, which is very, very important aspect in this installation, because as you know, the solar equipments and their prices are fluctuating day by day, and if the vendor payments are not done in time, they cause a very difficult situation for vendors as well as for the government. Scheme progress. So 40,140 pumps are installed till today. Out of the complete applications of 1,16,000, share is received for 49,000 numbers. JSR done 45,000. Installation done in phase 1 and 2, 40,140 number of pumps. PDI done is 43,949 pumps, and payment is done till today 30,000 of pumps. These are some photographs of the farm for getting the electricity, and they can irrigate their farms. Even those who could not irrigate their farms, they are now irrigating their farms. So we get the latitude, longitude, as we are seeing here, elevation, and the photograph of the beneficiary with the officer. So cheating in this scheme is reduced drastically, and we are getting very good success in this implementation. And the most important aspect is the speedy installation and payment of the vendors. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, very good effort, and your progress in your state is also encouraging. You have indicated that 3 HP, 5 HP, and 7.5 HP, 3 category of pumps are allocated under this scheme.
Yes,
which depends on the area of the
Area of the-
farmer.
Yes, sir.
Farmer. But does it not depend upon the ground level water?
Yeah, it depends, but sometimes if they need more HP pump, they can apply to us offline. So in that case, we consider the 10, 15 cases, and if we verify the field, our officer visits the beneficiary, looking into the aspect of water level, availability of water, then family position, we can sanction it up to 7.5 HP. Above that, we are trying to contact MNRE for sanctioning HP more than 7.5, sir. It is
And regarding O&M, I think the vendor should be asked to maintain 5 years or something.
5 years.
Whatever. They should maintain it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good effort. Thank you, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you are basically streamlining the process of award of solar system.
Yes, sir. Yes.
What is so special about it? It's a normal activity of your department.
For last few years, we are installing the pumps. We have so many problems regarding the.
So, sir, please tell me which problem you have solved in a cost-effective manner so that you should be considered for the award.
Sir, thank you, sir. We have reduced the time in inspection, in site verification, and as well as cheating of the beneficiaries, because they cheat like there are so many schemes previously undertaken. So one can dislocate his previous pump and then again apply in the scheme. So he will get again a pump. Then they can dislocate the pump. In this system, we have latitude, longitude, even RMS data. So we can immediately inform our district officer to verify whether the pump is not, why the pump is dislocated, why it is not working.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. And for our.
So my name is Chandrasekhar Jaiswal. Namaskar from Maharashtra. I am the General Manager of Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation. And here are my 2 female colleagues. One is Ms. Mansi Kothare, our officer, and Ms. Manisha. And the importance is gender in tourism. You can see it here very clearly. So this is how we are doing it. Can I go to the presentation directly?
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Are we doing a full? Yeah, are we doing a full screen, please? Okay. Anyway, we can scroll down. So we are talking about responsible tourism. As you know, travel is an activity, tourism is an activity which leads to many side effects or negative effects on the earth. We have been talking about earth, we have been talking about Vasundhara, and we have been talking about conservation of environment. We are the first country in the world to have the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, you know, way back in 1960s. So with that in early 70s and late 60s. So with that in mind, I would like to tell you that MTDC is progressing on an aspect called as responsible tourism, where we are starting everything from home. Like we always say, responsibility begins at home. With that in mind, we are saying that there should be no social, you know, we are using the word social of resources, whether those resources belong to the tourism stakeholders, they belong to the tourists, they belong to earth, they belong to anyone, any partner. And with this in mind, MTDC has unveiled on and come upon on a responsible travel program, which I will directly lead you to. So you know the SDGs of the United Nations, almost 17 of them are linked to responsible tourism. So we always say, you know, is it responsible tourism? So is it tourism is, you know, can I get the next slide, please? Am I able to share this? Okay. Am I able to share this slide share, please? Can I do it?
Sir, no. Kindly go.
Can you make me, please make me a host? Anyway,
Sorry,
so we always say, is it responsible tourism or tourism's responsibility? In fact, we are the people to decide. Can we go for the next slide? Let me just speak, sir. The best thing would be to speak. So, sir, what we have done is we have come up with a very responsible charter of a responsible travel program. So I don't need the presentation anymore. I was a lecturer once upon a time. I don't need the presentation anymore. So, you know, with responsible tourism, MTDC is the first tourism corporation in the country which has unveiled upon and come up with a responsible travel program in which we are very conscious, and we have started with something called as the first restaurants in the country to have no added flavors. MTDC has restaurants which don't use added flavors, additives, artificial colors, monosodium glutamate, that is Ajinomoto. We don't use any flavor emulsifiers or anything of that sort. And we are the restaurants which we take care, we are responsible for the health of our guests. So our restaurants are becoming very popular, with restaurants in places like Ganpatipure and Mahabaleshwar being the flagship restaurants. Apart from that, we don't have a flex policy. We don't use any flexes. We don't have any flexes. We don't print any flexes. We use the original boards, the same old boards, falak jisko kehte hain, right? That falak hi hum use karte hain. So that has become very popular among tourists. We don't bring people from outside. We employ people within the region, and we have Bhumiputras who have been employed within our restaurants and with our units. The very basic purpose of doing this is that we have an advocacy program, we have a training program in which we take the local people and train them. Apart from this, we are also working on gender in tourism. As you can see, the women and responsibility begins at home. What we are trying to say is that if you want to be sustainable, you are talking about sustainable tourism goals or sustainable development goals. If you want to be sustainable, you have to be responsible today. If you're not responsible, you cannot be sustainable tomorrow. If you come down to MTDC, you'll also find that we use no disposables. We don't have single-use plastic at all. There is a project which we are running in Mahabaleshwar. In Marathi, it is called as Disla Ki Uchla. Matlab dikha to uthao. Dikha to uthao is a police word actually, right? But we use it for kachra. We use it for waste. And today Mahabaleshwar is one of those places, or our resort, which has a small microclimate where we are almost plastic free, 99% plastic free. Of course, there are traces of plastic which we are trying to address. The responsible travel program of MTDC doesn't extend only to the to the practitioners like MTDC or the stakeholders, but it extends to a greater level to educate the tourists who are coming in. We are working on a no generator policy. We are working on a conservation of energy policy and so on. The time is quite limited. And the aspect of responsible tourism, which we are doing, is pioneering, and nobody has done it in our country till date. And we have embarked upon it for the very reason that we have implemented it practically. There are more than 106 points which are to be implemented, out of which more than 26 have been already implemented. Thank you, all the jury. Thank you, everybody, because I don't want to encroach upon your time. And the most important part is thank you for bearing up us. We are Mumbai, the capital of technology and finance, but we could not do a proper presentation today with you. We are very sorry about it, but I hope that my talk suffices with the other things and fills out the gap. Thank you, everybody.
Dr. Chandrasekhar, very good presentation. In fact, we are very much impressed about that you are using not allowing artificial colors, artificial flavors in your restaurants, and you are having very good restaurants and contributing towards SDGs and good health of people. It doesn't matter whether presentation is there or not, but you have conveyed it very well, sir, very effectively, and it has served its purpose. Please keep up the good work. I think you need to convey your practices, best practices with other states also. So
we'll do that, sir. We'll do that.
Don't mind about presentation. You have conveyed it very well, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very well. It doesn't matter. Thank you.
Sir, you talked about sustainable development. So give me one example wherein you think you have made the most effective dent in the society.
So the most effective dent which we have made in the society on sustainable development is that employment of the locals. We have started employing the locals in such a way. Sir, you should be knowing, this is a very interesting question which Sur sir has asked. Sir, I will not take the sustainability on the part of environment. Let me take the sustainability on example in sustainability on the part of social aspect, the social sustainability. So in the social sustainability, you will be surprised to know, sir, in our country, in our Republic of India, we have eligibility criteria for school. Anybody who is 10th standard or 12th standard has got something to do in future. That's the eligibility criteria, right? Which we have. But we have used one small eligibility criteria, which is a path-breaking criteria. And Mr. Sur, you will be surprised that we pick up school dropouts. They have nowhere to go, right? We pick up school dropouts because one day, what happens is that they are school dropouts not because of their own, because their parents were suffering. They were marginal farmers and they had no money, no finances to grow. So we pick up those kind of people from the society. We train them. We call them Bhumi Putras. We train them. We have an association with the Maharashtra State Institute of Hotel Management and Catering Technology at Pune. So we have an MOU, and with this MOU, we train them. And those people who didn't have a formal qualification in hotel management or trade of hotel management and our school dropouts are hardly literate, right? Are hardly literate. Forget about being educated. They get literate through this, although they don't know to read and write. And that is the way we attend social sustainability, Sur sir.
Thank you, sir.